do what the other one was doing. So what we did, and I want to take some time since we're here to say it all in terms of what an audit is about. And as professional accountants and members of the City Audit Committee, I'd like to bring to your attention an issue that I feel should be discussed by the Audit Committee. Detailed audits help expose ineffectiveness in government and are important in making certain that our tax dollars work better. I don't have to remind you that the Audit Committee is charged with making recommendations to council concerning internal control functions, as well as to evaluate financial management systems and the results of the operations of the city. Prior to my administration and the strong mayor form of government, city audits were often brief documents that did not reveal the depth of the problem, nor did they offer any concrete solutions. They were just, well, this is what we did. What the unfortunate thing is that the city auditor's office, this city auditor's office, in my judgment, not speaking for me, has jeopardized its work for political purposes. And this does not help the citizens of the city of Richmond. As an accountant, you already know the government practices. Section 8-.32 of the GAO standards details a best practice used by professional auditors where they should include: 1, the views, and I'm quoting, the views of responsible officials results in a report that presents not only the auditor's findings and conclusions and recommendations, but also the perspectives of the responsible officials of the audit committee, the audited entity, and the corrective actions they plan to take. You know that. I don't have to tell you that. You don't see that here. You haven't seen it in any of those things, as long as I've been here with this present auditor's office. On several occasions this year, the city auditor has released audit reports at the direction of his directors or his superiors. I need not tell you to maximize media coverage. As a matter of fact, I was advised before coming in here, there's another report that's went out there to the media that we haven't seen yet. I'm quite certain the auditor is aware of that. But when you alert the release of the audit to the media, but don't give it at the same time or even before the chief administrative officer, who's charged with the responsibility of overseeing the daily operations. Why so? Regardless of the political aspects, the city auditor's lack of professional, cooperative conduct only delays the city's continuing efforts to improve governmental operations. And as you can surmise, it's impossible for the CEO to have his or her views or recommendations for corrective action included when their knowledge of the report becomes unexpected. There are other examples of the compromised integrity and independence of the auditor's office. In a conversation just days before the release of this latest audit, the auditor agreed with the CAO that 53 of the 54 recommendations from the 2007 audit have been addressed. That's just a moment. That's what this CEO says. However, the report incorrectly states only 10 of the recommendations have been implemented. As you can see from the attached recommendations supplied by the CAO on August the 25th, the auditor himself agreed at your June 30th or June 3rd audit committee meeting that 13 of the recommendations have been implemented. This misinformation underscores the lack of professionalism that needs to be addressed by the Audit Committee. On page 3 of the audit, the auditor incorrectly states that fleet staff was instructed not to respond to outstanding questions in July and only later provided the information. When this was being drafted for me, someone put in there that said this could not be further from the truth. I changed it. It said that that's an absolute lie. Attached is a letter sent to the auditor by then CEO Neil Christian that instructed the auditor to cease its intrusive interference in staff's daily activities, constant and continued interruptions, prevented the department from adequately responding to the auditor's questions and disrupted the daily operations. Furthermore, audit staff continued to reopen recommendations that already had been considered closed. Now, as a result, the CEO sent a letter stating that the audit staff was not to further interrupt feed operations and that they would supply the requested information on August 18th, but only if the continued interruptions would cease. The city auditor completely misrepresented this fact in his report, and the attached letter is evidence of that misrepresentation.